So this is a Celtic knot, and we are going to use it as a bracelet like that. I'm going to undo this and redo it for you to see how to do the Celtic knot and how to finish off the ends of this bracelet with cord ends, and then some crystal beads to finish it off. So I'm just going to undo this. The length of the zipper is, well, this should be the size, the length of it should be the size of your wrist really, or the wrist of the person you are doing it for. So it's 6.75 inches for mine. I made it a bit shorter so that I can add some crystals to finish it off. So you cross it over like that, over with this one coming on top of it and crossing it over this way. So it should be like that with your other thread going underneath it like that. So what I use to remind me is under, because the one under it is gone under these two legs. So under, then it comes here over. So it goes over this, if you can see it. It goes over it and goes under this leg, if you can see it from here, so it's gone over here and it's gone under this leg. It's going to come around over this one leg here. So it's come over here, if you can see, it's come over this leg. I'm going to go under the inner leg, so I'm going to push it to go under it. So I'll lift this one up in the middle for it to go under it, and then it's going to come over this left leg like that. So that's how I have it. I'm going to just dress it up so that they are all of equal lengths. Then we can secure the ends. So then you have your Celtic knot. But try and make sure that all the zipper ends are equal, and then you can, after that, secure your ends when you are sure of what you have. So that is it. If you can see it properly, that is what I have. Now this is where your cord ends come in handy. I'm going to bend off this ends a bit because it's fraying a bit, so I'll just bend it off. So you just put your cord end over the two ends here. So it's going to go over here, and then you just crimp it in place, okay? And you use your flat nose plier to help you crimp it properly, and the teeth at the end of your cord ends can help you properly crimp it. So you can see, as you can see, it's locked in over there with the cord end. Let's say you don't have a cord end, you don't have this flat cord end, which is the appropriate one if you ask me, but just in case you don't have it and you still have to do this project, you can use your cups. So for me, this is the size I have. You put in some glue there, push this in, and mind you, my zipper teeth are quite big for this cup, but I'm using it as a demonstration. So you get the cup size that will fit the whole thing and try and push it in. I can try and fit this in, but I'm going to struggle a little bit. But if you're patient enough, you'll be able to just push it all in. But if you ask me, so that is it for this cup. If you ask me, I'll always choose the flat and cord finding than the cup at this point for this project, if you ask me. So I put the ends together just like I did at the other end, get my cord end and crimp my ends in place, and with the help of my flat nose plier, make sure that it's holding on tightly to the end of my bracelet. So there I have it. I finished the ends beautifully over there. You can work my Celtic knot in place. So that is it. Okay, so for the design I was going for, I made the strap a bit shorter so that I can finish them off with some crystals at the back of, of my wrist here. So I'm going to get some crystals and then string it on and put a closure to it, and then the bracelet will be ready. Okay, so this is the arrangement of the bracelet I'm looking at. So I have my Celtic knot with a zipper in the middle, so it's going to be in the middle of my wrist. Then I go next with a black crystal bead, and then a spacer, a crystal bead, a spacer, crystal bead, another spacer, which is a tiny spacer here, a squarish spacer. Then I go on to my cream bead, and then my jam ring, bring my thread over again into my cream bead, secure it, and then open my jam ring to fasten the other end of my toggle here. And I'll repeat the same thing on this side. Whilst you are doing this, you must keep the length of your bracelet in mind. So you should know the size of your bracelet you're going to work with. The average size of bracelet, like the average length of bracelet for an average person is 7.5. So it's between 7 and 7.5. When you go to 7, you'll be going to a smaller person with a smaller wrist. But for the average length of a bracelet, that is 7.5. Okay, so after this arrangement, you just get your beading thread. I didn't put it on a needle, I just got the beading thread of about 12 inches. I'm just going to finish my work, so it's not a big of a deal. There is a hole in here. I'm going to go through it like that. My next thing I'm going to put on will be my crystal, so I'll put both threads into the hole and then draw it closer to the bead like that, so you can see it. And then I'm going to string it, all of them, this at the same. Get my next, so the next one will be my spacer. The spacer has holes in them, so I'll pick on the hole that I really want to go through, pull it, and repeat it in that order until I get them all onto it. Okay, so there I have it. I've done my stringing onto the end of the bracelet. So this is what it looks like. I've finished stringing all my beads and my spacers. The next thing I'm going to do is to put on the cream bead. So that is very tiny and quite fiddly. You have to, you can always use a magnifying glass if you prefer. So I put on my cream bead and then my connector or my jam ring, depending on what you want to call it. Well, the jam ring always serves as a connector, doesn't it? And then I go over from the other end. When I've put on the jam ring, I pick the end up and go through my jam ring and cream bead again, go through my cream bead and pull it very close to bring the jam ring closer to the whole project. And then I'm going to crimp it in place with the help of my flat nose plier, just here. If you can see it, crimp it in place. Just the cream bead I'm crimping in place. Okay, make sure it's properly crimped, then you can cut the end off. Okay, now with the help of 2 pliers, I'm going to twist the jam ring open so that I can slide in the other end of my toggle. So I'm going to put in the bar, and there I have it. I finished one end of my jewelry, so one end is finished. I'm going to repeat the same process on the other end. Just get some thread off my spool. About 12 inches will work, just to give you enough working length, and then go through this end. Bring the threads together on a double. Together on a double. Then you get your crystal and then your spacer in that order of arrangement you had placed it on your mat. So you keep going in that order until you've done it all. Here we are with the finished product. The Celtic knot bracelet, finished off beautifully with black crystal beads and toggle and bar closure. so beautifully. I'm going to put it on now for you to have a look at the final work, and I hope you enjoyed doing lovely projects with your zips. So you can always put your zips back to use when your dress is broken and all of that. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give our video a thumbs up, a share, and hope to see you in our next video. Have a lovely day.